Hi everybody, my name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. So today I want to talk about understanding and overcoming obstacles. We always see obstacles as bad luck, as a negative thing, and they're hard. But as we go on this journey, this healing journey, we start to realise that obstacles are there for a reason. And the more we listen to the guidance, they're divine guidance. That's what they are. Obstacles are nudges from the universe and divine guidance onto if you're on a path and you need redirection. That's what I find. Every little thing that happens to us, every simple thing, is a message. There's a lesson to be learned. There's guidance in it somewhere. So anything that changes, anything that you might perceive as bad luck, anything that you might perceive as an obstacle is actually a divinely guided message from the universe to redirect you onto where you're supposed to be going. So this can be simple things, but I've come to realize this, that we don't have bad luck. We have, if we're in this negative mindset, things tend to go wrong all the time because we're not listening to that divine guidance from the universe. We're just seeing everything as bad luck. We're seeing as everything as being miserable or everything is hard, everything is a struggle. But this is not true. If our mind says this will create that reality for ourselves. But these obstacles they're nudges, they're wake-up calls, they're leading us onto the right path. So like if we get stuck in our comfort zone or if we get stuck down the wrong path, the universe will bring in these nudges. And I spoke about them before, like as tower moments. If you don't listen to the gentle nudges from the universe, the nudges get louder. So, those obstacles may be easy to deal with at the start, but if we don't listen to this quiet nudge, the nudges get louder. And the way I've described it before is, you'll get a little poke from the universe and the poke will get louder and then it will get louder. And if you still don't listen, it will get louder and louder and louder and louder and louder. And if you're completely down the wrong path in your life and you don't listen to those nudges, then the way I liken it to is the universe will throw a hand grenade into your life and go and blow everything up. So you have to change. You're forced to change. So this is why we have to be so receptive to understanding what the universe is trying to tell us when the nudges are small, when the obstacles are small. Know that there's a lesson in every single thing. Everything we do, everything we encounter, every person we encounter, there is a lesson to be found in there somewhere. You need to ask yourself, why is this happening? Not why me. Don't go into victim mentality and wonder, my life is full of bad luck. If you continue down that mindset, the victim mentality mindset, you will continue to attract more in. Ask yourself, what is the universe trying to tell me? Now, I'll give you a couple of examples. I find anything that is perceived as an obstacle. For some people, obstacles are struggles. They're brick walls. And we crash into them and we try to bullhead through them and try to fix them. But they're stepping stones. They're actually stepping stones to get you on the right path or into the right direction. And that's the thing, we tend to overwork. We're busy. We're hit these obstacles. We're trying to bullhead through them. We're trying to crash through them. And things just tend to get worse. Pause. Ask yourself for a minute, why did this happen? And that's the thing that I've discovered over the last few years. I used to get so frustrated and so angry. If anything went wrong, it's why? And it's just what am I going to do? I get so stressed out. I get just really anxious, really overwhelmed, and just try and get everything done. And it would feel like a struggle. The whole thing would feel like a struggle. Now, if something happens, I won't even think about what to do to solve it until, I do in a sense. But what I actually do is take those few minutes and go, why did this happen? Why is this happening now? What is the universe trying to show me? And I know I'll describe it with my car. My car is kind of my biggest guidance system, my biggest lesson. So if anything goes wrong with my car, I will ask, why did that happen? You know what I mean? Obviously your car needs maintenance and we need to do that. That's fair enough. But why did it happen? So back a few years ago, I had no entity in my car and it was taken from me, and I was like, do I go get that car back or do I get a new car? And I sat there for a few minutes and I was like, why did the universe do this? What is the universe trying to tell me? And after a lot of contemplation, a lot of understanding, a lot of figuring things out, I realised that I needed a new car, and this, I had to out with the old, in with the new. And that was what I had to experience for that time. And that was grand. That was a big wide eye-opener for me, and I discovered what was I doing wrong and what I needed to do next. But say last year, just before I made the biggest decision of my life to set very hard boundaries with family members, just before I was having arguments with my dad all the time, I needed to take a step back. And just before I was about to go and see him, my brakes went in my car. And I was like, right, I need to get those fixed. I can't go visit him. And I was like, why? And I realised that I'd become codependent on him. And I was allowing all my energy to go to trying to help him rather than help myself. He was becoming an energy vampire and had narcissistic traits. And it was depleting my energy. And I wasn't listening to the guidance from the universe, the nudges from the universe about my health. My health was my obstacle, trying to tell me that you need to walk away from these people. And I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening to nudges. I wasn't listening to the fear that I was in. I wasn't listening to my signs from my body, the universe, from my soul, to walk away from this situation. And when my brakes went in my car, I was like, what is this telling me? And I got all the downloads I needed, all the information I needed to realise that I needed to start making some strict boundaries when it came to the people I allowed into my life. And the same thing, anytime then I have to do maintenance on the car, I'll ask myself, why? And like this happened again, my car had a bit of trouble, and it's the longest I've been without my car. Thank God I got back today. Oh my God, I'm so happy. But I was a full week without my car almost. And I was wondering why it was so delayed, and I was like, there's a reason for this being so delayed. There's not, this is happening for a reason. There's a reason that it happened, but there's also a reason why it's delayed. Why is it delayed? So I spent the whole of the week asking the universe and asking my guides, my angels, why is this happening? And it was because I was feeling a bit stagnant in my life, and I was getting a wake-up call to get out of my own way. And that's what I understood from that, was because I had blocks in my mind that were keeping me a little bit stagnant. And I came to understand that the whole lessons I was learning around the stuff with my car was it was a wake-up call. It's like, you need to get moving, girl. You need to stop blocking. Like my limiting beliefs were what was blocking me. And I was there kind of saying to myself, that was keeping me stuck in a comfort zone in a sense. And, having the worry about the car, then it was like, wake up call. It's time to get out of your comfort zone. It's time to start moving. And this is what I got from the universe. And the reason it took a week for my car to come back was because I needed that extra time to understand and ask, why is this happening? What is this directing me towards? And that's it. Instead of saying, oh my God, poor me, what am I going to do? This is the end of the world, and being miserable all week, I took that time, that hibernation, because I couldn't leave the house, to understand, what do I need to know for my next steps on my journey? And it's simple other things as well. So we see change even as an obstacle. So if something changes in your life, we're kind of like, why is this happening? I was used to it. But I see everything as divine guidance, and it's divine guidance out of your comfort zone as well. When we get stuck in our routine, we kind of go, this is nice, I'm used to this is easy, and it's all I know, I'll stick with this. And then you kind of get a little bit, the comfort zone's not that comfortable. The comfort zone starts to get uncomfortable. And what I noticed, and other things as well, little changes. So if something changes in your life, if the universe changes something for you, don't be like, don't see it as a hindrance. Don't see it as an effort to change. Use it as a guidance to change. And that was the thing with me. I had routine. I had the same routine. I went to the same shop every week for my groceries. I went to the post office. I went to the shop. I walked the same route all the time. And it was getting boring. But I remember walking down the same route every time I'm going. And I was just one day, I was like, Jesus, this is grand. It's grand to have a local. It's grand to have, stuff that's comfortable. And then I was kind of going, no, there's something a bit claustrophobic about this. And so the post office actually moved locations, and because of that, I was my daily routine or my weekly routine was shaken up a little bit. So I had to ask, what is the guidance I'm receiving here? And I got loads of messages, I got loads of guidance, and I started walking different routes down by the river, walking around this way, going to different shops, doing a little bit of variety. Then I actually got the guidance to go vegan, because the shop I had been going to didn't have many vegan options. But because my post office moved, the shop beside that had loads of vegan options. And I was already asking the universe, should I go vegan and stuff like that. So this is the thing. When things change, ask yourself, what is this trying to show me? What kind of message is the universe trying to show me? So any kind of changes, any kind of tweaks in your daily routine that the universe or, that's been changed for you, because we're kind of afraid of change. We kind of stick to the same shit every day. And when we do, we kind of get a bit stagnant, we get a bit stuck, we get a bit too comfortable. And this is not what we want. We want variety in our lives, we want adventure, we want that get up and go. But when we get too into this mundane routine, this tunnel vision routine, it gets boring. It does get boring. And that's the thing with me. Like, sometimes I can get stuck in my comfort zone, but the minute I break out of that, change, I fucking love change. I love that excitement. I love the new. I just love variety. And that's what I want, that's what that's why I question everything. That's why I ask those questions to the universe, to my angels, to my guides, to myself, asking, what is this trying to show me? Understand your obstacles. Understand that they're there for a reason. Understand that they're there to make you change, wake you up. So ask yourself, what do I need to do to change my life? Or what is the universe trying to make me do to change my life? Because they will make these nudges minor. They will make them easy. They will make them divine guidance. They will tweak your life little by little to make you go down the right path instead of sticking to this old usual path. Listen to those baby nudges, because that's what I've learned to do. Whereas in my past, I did not listen to divine guidance. I didn't know. I didn't understand it. And I was so unhappy. And I didn't even know that because I didn't listen to my soul. I didn't listen to the truth within me. And I didn't realize that I was so unhappy. And I didn't realize all the bad luck that was in my life was because I was so unhappy and because the universe was trying to guide me onto a better path. And especially in my 20s, I had two very, very toxic relationships, and I would never have gotten out of, I was nearly 8 years with a narcissist, and I wouldn't have gotten out of that if the universe hadn't have tried to guide me otherwise. And because I didn't listen to those nudges, the universe eventually came in with that grenade and just threw in that grenade and it was very traumatic. I had to go through a traumatic experience to wake me up to the fact that I was in a toxic relationship. And then I had to go through another toxic relationship and another traumatic experience because I didn't listen to those nudges. And it's only since I started listening to that guidance, listening to those nudges from the universe, that I have actually I've stopped getting those grenades. I don't get those grenades. Obstacles to me now are lessons. They're stepping stones. They're guidance to redirect. So that's what we need to understand. Make sure that that these little mini nudges, make sure you listen to them. Make sure you start listening to the soul within you, your intuition, your divine guidance, the messages from the angels, from the universe, from God, whoever you aspire to, or whoever your higher power is. We can call it any God, source, the universe. It's all one and the same. God is within us. Our higher power is our soul, our intuition. That's the guidance system we have. But if we don't listen, that's when the shit hits the fan. It is. And when we listen to the nudges early, they don't seem like obstacles. They're just like, what is this teaching me? What do I need to do next? What am I not seeing? What is keeping me stuck? What can I do to move forward? What is this message telling me? So that's it. Like, don't see obstacles as bad luck. They're a divine message from the universe that you need to change something in your life. So everything can be a metaphor for what's going on in your life. You know, the brakes going in my car last year, I needed to slow down. Slow down in what sense? What was I doing too much of? What was I giving too much of my energy to? Use every little thing as a metaphor for what's going on in your internal reality. Because what's going on externally is a mirror of what's going on internally. And anything that does happen in your life, good or bad, you need to sit with that. You need to ask yourself, what is it that the universe is trying to show me? What is it that I need to know to move forward? And it's so beautiful. Like, any little thing, you have to ask it. And that's what I'm so aware of my thoughts now and my triggers. So, you know, I'll sit with myself. Nature, actually, sitting in silence in nature is how you'll get the answer to these problems, these obstacles. Do you know, like, I that's another thing. Like, I spent the whole week, obviously I was busy doing stuff the whole week, but every time I had a moment, I was trying to integrate what was going on with my car. And it was only because I got to rest at the weekend and spend some time outside, you can see by the sunburn, that summer's here, yay! But from sitting outside in nature, in that solitude, in that silence, I got all the answers I needed, because there was a lot of lessons this week. It was a lot of lessons to do with my career, to do with my heart, to do with my path and the direction I'm going in. So actually sitting outside yesterday, like, that's, you know, sitting outside yesterday, literally, I needed that to understand properly what was going on. So that's why the car was gone a full week. You know, I could have gotten my car back on Friday, but the universe wouldn't allow that, and I was ready Friday, but the universe didn't allow me to get the car back till today, because I needed the weekend sitting in nature, sitting in solitude, sitting in silence, to get final answers that I needed to get. And now I have a different outlook on what way I need to go, and I know what direction I need to go in now. You know, so I had a very slow week, and like, I was already talking about the fact that with the eclipse energies, the universe was catapulting us back to propel us forward so quickly. And like, you know, I just did a video on that, and then I had a week of rest, a week of, you know, pausing to plan my next step ahead. And like, you know, normally I'll have a being day, being is doing, where I'll have to pause in between what I've done and what I'll do next. But this was the biggest pause I've had. Like, I had to kind of spend a week kind of understanding what this message was all about. And I understand it now, and I've incorporated that, and I know what I need to do to move forward. So understand that everything is a message. Every person you encounter, every obstacle you meet, every new thing that enters your life, every redirection that comes into your life, every bit of change that happens for you is a divine message. It's divine guidance from the universe to get you onto that path that you're supposed to be on, your soul's path, your purpose path. You know, so understand, ask yourself, don't be victimizing and going, oh my God, why? This is so bad luck. There's no such thing as bad luck. There isn't. It's how you perceive it. So every little obstacle, every little nudge from the universe is a message. Understand that. Understand that the universe is trying to tell you something. Obstacles they shouldn't be perceived as bad luck and only perceived as lessons. They are stepping stones to get you onto the right path if you're on the wrong path. And listen to them early. Don't make the mistake I did in my 20s and ignore that inner voice, ignore your soul and ignore the universe, and don't wait for those tower moments. Don't wait for that grenade to be thrown into your life, because it gets bad. If you don't listen to those nudges from the universe, it gets really bad. Believe me, it's horrendously bad. So I am so happy now to be able to understand and be receptive to the messages I get now, because I will not allow another terror moment to come into my life. I will not allow another grenade to come into my life. I want my life to run smoothly, and it runs smoothly when I ask myself what lessons I need to learn. What guidance am I receiving? Because when you listen early, the obstacles are easier. The next obstacle is easier again, and the next one is easier again. We always have obstacles. This is what life is about. But make them the easiest obstacles to overcome by listening to that guidance from the universe. So I really hope this helps. Thank you so much for listening today. And if it does help, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you would like help on your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I would love nothing more than to help you on your path. Thanks. Bye-bye.